Hi Ghost Nation, it's me, and Skeletá, the new album by Ghost, has just dropped. I'm super excited. I listened to it yesterday, midnight actually, today, and it was so cool, and it was such a different album. I love it so much. On March the 20th, I had made a post on my Instagram.com called My Predictions for Skeletá, which predictably was what I thought was gonna happen in these songs in this album. And I made some very specific predictions about the individual songs, and now we're gonna react to them and give you my album review at the same time. I'm doing this entirely unscripted. We're just going with the flow, and we'll see what I got right, we'll see what I didn't get right, and yeah, we're gonna make fun of me a lot. So the only thing that we actually knew about the album when I made this post was the song Satanized. Lacrima hadn't come out, Peacefield hadn't come out, the concerts hadn't started, so nobody had heard Umbra before. Tobias hadn't given that interview where he talks about each of the songs individually, because the existence of that interview made that post completely unnecessary, so you know. But this is important context because you'll be like, oh, you predicted this, but Tobias said that in the interview. The interview wasn't out yet, okay? So yeah, cut me some slack. Anyways, number 1, Peacefield. So I talked a little bit about how this album doesn't have any instrumentals and such, and the Loma Vista blurb, which was like the only material that we had about this, and the interview with Los Guest, but we'll get on that in a second, calls this one ascendant and anthemic. And I said, I'm 99.9% sure that the synth melody we keep on hearing whenever Perpetua is around is from this song. No, that was actually Umbra, but you know, you win some, you lose some. This will be high energy, yes. Hooky, yes. And it will be the opening number on all of the shows, yes. Classic Ghost, the sound will be energetic and uplifting, the lyrics will be dark AF. Not really. I think this is an energetic song with a bit of a dark edge to it, but an energetic song with actual, like, uplifting lyrics, which is kind of a first for Ghost. Okay, there's From the Pinnacle to the Pit, and then there's If You Have Ghost. Okay, there's other positive Ghost songs, but still. The title makes me think of the expression Peace of Mind, yes, and of the song Out of My Mind by Tony Iommi's side project Who Cares, a never gonna drive these demons out of my mind type song. No, this song actually drives out the demons in your mind, so I was right about the sound of the song, kind of, and I was wrong about the lyrical content. So far, a half right for me. My prediction for Lacrima, which I'll remind you hadn't fucking come out when I made this post, okay? Don't come at me. The second proper song on every Ghost album is always a heavy one. This is where they put Faith, Pinnacle to the Pit, and Elizabeth, to name a few. At the same time, this is up for a pre-save. It wasn't actually up for pre-save. That was a weird glitch that happened. But so it will likely be a single with a music video. It was a single with a music video. I am right. And it was one of the heaviest songs on the album with the heaviest riffage on the album. Huh, I'm right. Loma Vista says it's got bittersweet melodies and it's the beginning of the album's descent into darker material. It makes me think of Spillways, which is heavy but melodic, but while it goes for bright melodies, Lacrima will go in a different, darker direction. I couldn't have predicted that better if I wanted. Ha, take that. I think this will be an absolute banger, and by description alone it could be my favorite on the album. Right now it's competing with Umbra, having heard the entire thing, but we'll see. I really like Lacrima, I really like it. It truly is evil Spillways, and I don't know, I couldn't be happier about it. I'm thinking heavy but catchy and melancholic at the same time, like Elizabeth, yes. Or why not Bloody Angel by Avatar? I wouldn't go as far as saying Bloody Angel. The riff is definitely like the big, you know, drop D. I think Avatar uses drop C, but anyways, it's a big drop D riffage that's going on. I guess I got half of a point here. Los Guests called this one a rock radio single, which means it's probably not that heavy. I was wrong. It is actually heavy as fuck. But, you know, it's just got a very catchy chorus, a very radio-friendly chorus to it, which, you know, I'm happy about this prediction. I'm giving myself a right for this one. Yeah. So Satanized, I actually just commented on it because I had heard it, everyone had heard it. I talked about Selena Fakir and Vincent Pontere and how we didn't have the writers for the songs yet. That actually came out a lot later than it did for Impera. In Impera, we already knew who had written the songs a long time before, but for Skeletá, it took us a while to know that. And so that made my predictions a little bit more difficult, because if I knew that this duo of people had been involved with Tobias on some of these other songs, my predictions would have been different, because they have a very specific writing style. But at the same time, oh my god, the choruses sound great, the hooks sound great, the whole thing sounds great, the mix sounds great on this. Amazing. We're not having Infestissimum Part 2, but we're also not having Infestissimum Part 2. Loma Vista calls Guiding Lights a soul-searching epic ballad. I'm thinking something in the vein of He Is. It's the shortest song on the album and will be a classic ghost ballad with lyrics that will make half the fandom sob uncontrollably, my god. I was wrong about half the fandom. I guess it's the whole fandom, especially after we learned about that this song was supposed to be in Arcane. And I didn't watch Arcane, but, you know, I have people in my life who did, and ooh, what a sobber this one. Guiding Light is a very strong image in Christianity, and then I said a bunch of ghost songs that actually use this metaphor as well. I think it was used super differently, super nicely in this song. It's one of the highlights of the album. It's the shortest song in the album, but it's one of the most impactful. It didn't need to be any longer to convey the message that it does. The Profundis Borealis, oh this one. Everyone crucified me for not getting the Oscar Wilde reference. Again, I didn't get it, okay? I am not that much into Oscar Wilde, even though I should be. The stuff I read from his was very good. I mostly read my national literature from Brazil. So a lot of the international writers I've read just like their big books, you know, the most important ones, and I haven't really dove into their complete works. So you would only know about the Profundis if you knew about Oscar Wilde's entire production, and I'm pretty sure a lot of you that told me that I missed it don't even know that, okay? I'm pretty sure you learned about that letter just to make fun of me. I'm a literature student, this is why I'm so triggered. I don't think this song is that much connected to the letter, but my first wild prediction, and this was a wild one, I'm going to predict that this song will be an absolute punch to the face. The name means the Deep North and it's written by a Swedish man who loves death metal. Can you see where I'm going with this? So basically, I was predicting that this was gonna be a flirt with black and death metal, and when the Tobias interview where he talks about each of the songs came out and he said so explicitly, I was like, yeah, nobody believed in me, but I was right. I was right about this, and it turns out that the song doesn't sound like black metal very much, but and I even went as far to saying I don't think they will go as far as blast beats and trem picking, but some growling and barking here and there would be very appreciated. There wasn't a lot of growling and barking in this song, and in fact there was no trem picking, there was no blast beats, but there was a very constant skank beat going on for like almost the entire song, and that's really fucking cool. So not a black metal sounding song, but a black metal aesthetic inspired song. It's one of my favorites on the album. It truly is. That hook is na 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 na. That's been stuck in my brain for hours now. The album's only been out for hours, so who knows how long this will be in my brain for. It's either that or the song is going to be an absolute depression fest, which is also appreciated, I said. This is not a depression fest. This is actually a very uplifting song. I haven't dove very deep into the lyrics yet, but yeah, I don't think this song is depressing. I will give myself a solid 75% right on this one. I made an interesting prediction for Cenotaph. I said that Ghost still writes albums for vinyl and they have a very clear A and B side. You know how in Paris starts all triumphant and big and bombastic, and then the second half of Impera is Empire going to shit, and then the songs start getting darker and moodier and stuff like that. I thought that Skeletá would do the same. I don't think I was right, but Cenotaph is a vibe shift. It's definitely a vibe shift, but I don't think it's like a vibe shift into the rest of the album. It's just a vibe shift in it of itself. It's a very unique song. It's a very weird sounding song. I wasn't sure about it when I first heard it, but then I realized what it was about, and I started to cry because I'm a big crybaby. I didn't really predict much for the song. This middle paragraph is just talking about what a cenotaph is, because I was really out of material to make a guest, and I just went off the interview where the interviewer said that this is a rock radio single. I think it's weird that he picked this one instead of Marks of the Evil One to single out as a rock radio single. Honestly, not what I thought when I heard this song. This is one of the most unique, weird, and wonderful songs in Ghost's catalog. I really like it. I think it's very different. I'm not sure how frequently it will make my playlist, but it truly is something that I like being on the album. It's a pretty safe bet, saying that a Ghost song will be gloomy. Almost the entire album is gloomy, and then the one song that I say is going to be gloomy was actually not really gloomy, you know. Well, Apollo, sometimes he blesses us, sometimes he commits a bit of sacanage. I'm thinking they could channel Alice Cooper on Trash, which is undeniably glam rock, but evil, edgy glam rock. See, this was my misplaced prediction. I predicted something right, but for the wrong song. I was thinking of Lacrima. Lacrima sounds exactly like Poison, the Alice Cooper song, not the band. Cenotaph sounds nothing like Alice Cooper at all. So I'm giving my prediction for Cenotaph a solid out of 10. 7. Missile Amore. Here's what I said about Missile Amore. Those who know a little Latin got it. Love Missile. Well, Tobias is a known Kiss fan, and he spent the last couple years hyping up Scorpions, having Def SS open his shows, and having Joe Elliott on the remix of Spillways. One of Kiss's biggest hits is a song called Love Gun. Don't need to explain what a love gun is. And I think it'd be very funny if this was a glammy dance macabre type song that sounds horny, but it's actually a metaphor for Satan somehow. I doubt I'm right. And I predicted that this would be another Darkness at the Heart of My Love. But when the interview with Tobias came on and he said that this was gonna be a glammy Kiss type song, I was like, fuck yes! Fuck yes! Take that! Take that, everyone! Take that! Take that! You know, nobody fucking believed me when I said that. Nobody! You all thought I was fucking crazy. Now look who's laughing. Look who's laughing now. I was right and you were wrong. I was right and you were wrong. I was the only person that was saying that on the whole of the internet. I'm Satan's most special little girl. The only thing I didn't quite get right was that I expected a Love Gun type song, and this is actually a God of Thunder type song, which I appreciate a lot. You know, instead of having a Dance Macabre Part 2, we're having something that's glammy but entirely different. Hello? Love Rockets! I love this song! 8. Marks of the Evil One. This is probably the song where I had the least to say because I had nothing. I just said it would sound like Infestissimum. I didn't really have much to go off of. And yeah, some people said they hear it. They hear like kind of a Death of Satan's Eyes type thing going on in the song. I don't really hear it, but you know, if you say I'm right, I'm taking a... You said I was right on this one. It's one of my favorite songs in the album. It's so catchy. There, the marks of the evil. Oh my god, this song is so good. This song is one of my highlights in the album, one of my favorites in the album. Don't have much to say about this because I didn't have much to say about it at all, other than it's one of my very favorite Ghost songs at the moment, and I love it, and I'm gonna play it until I'm tired of it. 9. Umbra. It means shadow in Latin, and then I talk a little bit about the word Umbra. You guys don't care about that. Tobias has confirmed that Skeletá will be the first Ghost album with no instrumentals, but he allowed the songs to have more instrumentalism, which is why the songs are longer, and I predicted that this song was the outlet for the solos and for the big instrumental moments, and I was so dead on about that, but I did not predict that in the middle of this cowbell-ridden, horny-ass Blue Oyster Cult song, which I love, it turns into a Deep Purple song. You know those Deep Purple songs like Speed King and Bloodsucker, where the guitar would go and then the organ would go. My God, it is a Deep Purple song, through and through. And, which I love. It's a very good band, and Tobias has pulled inspiration from them for songs like Majesty and Square Hammer and such, and I think it fits Ghost very well, and this is gonna go so hard live. My god, I'm jealous of everyone who's going to the concerts and getting to see this one live, because I need to see this one live. This song changed my life. I didn't predict that this was gonna be my favorite song on the album, but my god, everything about it, the lyrics, and then the verses, and then the chorus, and then it just goes off into fucking space trucking in the middle. My god, so good, so good. I have no words. Umbra just rivals Zombie Queen for my favorite Ghost song of all time. And I'm serious about this. I'm dead serious about this. Anyways, I'm seeing Deep Purple in June. They're still touring. Like, Ian Gillan is, what, 275 years old? I hope Tobias is the same, and we'll get Papa Perpetua touring when he's actually looking more like Nil. That would be great. That would be great, honestly. I'll take my grandchildren that I won't have to this show, you know? Good stuff, good times. And then Excelsis, another 6-minute long closing track in true Ghost fashion. This will be their third longest song to date, and I'd love for it to resemble their longest in that it starts slow and soft and ends in an absolutely climactic way. This will be a new fan favorite. No, this one starts slow and ends slow, but I don't mind that at all. I saw some people complaining about it because they were expecting a Life Eternal or a Zombie Queen that starts slow and ends climactic, but you can't go into a new album, especially one recorded by an artist with a longer time in their career. You can't go into a new album with expectations of it sounding like any of the other ones. You gotta be ready for the surprises, and this was a surprise in the album. And this was actually the song that got stuck in my head permanently after listening. Maybe it's because it's the last song, but the "You will too, and I will too." Oh, that part is so good. That part is so good. And Tobias said he wants Skeletá to be more healing than in Paris, so with a title that calls back to the very concept of the word Melioda, I'm sure there will be one tearjerker of a line here that nobody will ever be able to move on from. This was a different line for a lot of people, but for me it was that very last line. My god, I'm afraid of eternity too. Yeah, that one got me. That one got me. I'm not Catholic anymore, obviously, but I grew up Catholic, and I grew up as a kid hearing about eternal life, and I was like, shit, I'm not even ready for this one. What do you mean it goes on forever after? You know, I'm afraid of that. That's a terrifying concept. And I don't know, having it put so plainly. Other songs like Life Eternal have touched on that in a very poetic way. None have been so straight to the point as Excelsis has been, and that line has absolutely destroyed me. It didn't water my crops, it didn't water my livestock, it didn't feed my family, but it destroyed me, and then I'm building myself back up again from the ashes of an old. What does he say in Peacefield? The dawn of prosperity, a faded scar, something like that, you know? But yeah, this was my review slash predictions for Skeletá. I hope you guys enjoyed this album as much as I did, because I did. I loved every second of it, and I'm gonna be playing it. And, you know, I can't wait for these motherfuckers to announce a show in Brazil. Come on, come on. We're waiting for you, we're waiting for you. And please, play the Profundis Borealis live. Play Marks of the Evil 1 live. Play Umbra live. And play 20s. If you don't play 20s, Tobias, you know what's gonna happen to you.